Hello and welcome to Zero Cool Gaming and this week's anime review of Initial D. Okay, what is Initial D? Initial D is a racing anime, sort of. Street racing, more specifically on the side of a mountain. Now, why does that make a difference? Well, unlike as the anime will show, um, most mountain passes don't have a lot of guardrails. And it's not really about it is about the danger, but it's also not about the danger. What the draw to those type of roads is the corners. And it's not just the corners, it's the amount of corners in the short time period of time. Um, I lived on a mountain road for years. It was 15 miles long total. I lived about halfway, at kind of the halfway point. Um, and from my home, going one direction to the nearest main road was like 7.5 miles. And from my house to that main road, there was like 173 corners. So that's what the draw is. Um, it. I don't know how else to explain that. So anyway, what is this anime about? Well, it's about a guy named Takumi Fujiwara. I've watched the show a few times, so I can actually pronounce these names. And he's an 18-year-old who can best be described as a blurred and spaced out kind of guy. Well, it's because he works all the time. Plus, he goes to school and, you know, it wears you out. He doesn't have any particular aspirations in life, nor does he care about anything in life. On the other hand, his father, Bunta, was once a famous street racer that drifted down mountains in his car, which is a Toyota Sprinter Torino AE86, or better known as the Hachiroko. Uh, However, he has since retired from his career, and I can understand why. As you get older, your reflexes slow down, and unless you're having an on day, it's really a safe idea to just avoid that type of fun. He's had his son helping him out with deliveries for the past 5 years, and he's basically let his son drive this. Let's call it a pseudo race car. It's been upgraded and beefed up and this, that, and the other. Um, and he's been letting his son drive it up and down this mountain every morning. Well, not every morning, but on several mornings to deliver tofu to a um, hotel that's at the top of it. Uh, Never had that kind of situation, but I did work once at a restaurant that was on the top of a mountain. And I drove up most people it'd take like 45 minutes. I believe the speed limit is 25 on the road, and a whole lot of the corners say 10, 15 miles an hour. Um, but it's not really that far. I mean, from the time that you enter the bottom of the mountain to where the restaurant is, it's only like 9 miles, not even 9 miles. You can easily do that in 15 minutes. You can do that on a good day in a little over 8. But anyway, you're not supposed to do things like that. But that's kind of what the story's about. It's about this kid who has learned to drive this mountain pass over years and years. He's driven it thousands of times. So he knows exactly every corner, what speed to take it at, what, you know, the turn rate is. He's done it on ice. He's done it in the rain. He's had all the different um, weather patterns in that respect to worry about, and has learned how to deal with each of them. Um, and that's actually quite a bit to learn. It really is. Now, if you're somebody that enjoys auto racing or just being on the road, uh, it's a pretty exhilarating anime series. Initial D is fast-paced series that makes it nearly impossible to wait for the VCRs were out back then to rewind the tape before popping in the next one. I actually have it on DVD. Yeah, it's not CDs, it's DVDs. Uh, it's 5 stages, so it's a pretty long um, series in actuality. Um, and it's all about his different races that he gets into is really what it's about. There is some drama that goes along with that, and some other side stories. Um, but the main story is about this kid and him getting better and better at driving cars on these mountain passes, or even on the track for that matter. Um, Basically, I did enjoy this series quite a bit. I've watched it 2 or 3 times over the years. Um, and like I said, I bought all the stages. I don't have there is an anime movie. There's also a live action movie. Um, Never watched either of them. Uh, but I do know that they exist because I saw that when I was looking up information on this series. Um, the reviews for this were kind of blah. There's no hate, there's no love, and I guess that's a good thing because it's just good fun. It's good entertainment. There's nothing really exceptional here or whatever. But if you like racing, drifting specifically, and the idea of doing that on a mountain road, then this series will definitely pique your interest because it has a lot of that. And guys showing you just how technical, I'll put it that way, such things can truly be. Um, and yeah, you're always at a disadvantage to somebody who knows the road a lot better than you do. Uh, I know this for a fact. I used that several times against people. Uh, Now, for me, it was always about tires. I wasn't rich, so if somebody wanted to race me, they had to be willing to replace the tires on my car. And back then, that wasn't that much. I mean, truly, I think 4 tires on that car back then was like, after tax and everything, it was like 450, $500. So it wasn't bad. And I was getting good tires for what I was doing. So, but yeah, I mean, there were some guys that would race me and they had like, $1,200 or $2,200 worth of tires on their car. And I'm just like, dude, if you win, I'll give you $600. Because that's all it cost me for new tires. Uh, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I did things. And it was kind of fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this series. I really did. Well, that's my review for the day, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of yours.